everyone. So today we're leaving the T-Crane, leaving Kyoto, and we are going to Tokyo, where we're going to participate in an event, a show. And we're just going to get out to the Shinkansen station, and we're going to get on the train, go to Tokyo and participate and have some of the T-Crane products there at the show. And when I'm there, I will show you what we are doing there and what the event is all about. So see you in Tokyo.
Bound for Tokyo. We'll be stopping at Nagoya, Shin Yokohama and Shinagawa stations before arriving at Tokyo Terminal.
So we've just checked in and we're in our hotel room now. I'm just entering the hotel, and I'll just drop off my stuff and I'll just show you what the room looks like. It's a very tiny room, like most basic hotel rooms. I didn't go for anything fancy or anything special. I've already got a television on, didn't need a television. For a comfortable bed, and then desk. I just put my stuff down here, so it's basic enough. It's what you would need. I've already taken out the water cooker, because this is going to be very important if I do want to enjoy some tea, because I'll also show you a little bit of, well, let me tell you this way. I'm also going to show you a little bit of the things that I brought, what I have during a stay usually, and what I like to do. So I've got some teaware, tea material, and some stuff to enjoy my tea with, to have my morning tea, etc. There is not much room really to do some proper yoga, as that is something that I would usually do, but we'll figure out how to make it work. And for the next 3 days, 4 days, I will be here for the event, and of course before and after I'll be enjoying some time in the hotel and in and around Tokyo. So we're here, we've arrived. So there isn't really much room here in this room, but I've got the desk at which I'm sitting, and I have my teaware, all the things that I am going to need to enjoy some moments of tea here while I'm in Tokyo. And I always like to carry this pouch. This is actually a very simple makeup pouch that I repurposed as my tea toolbox. Now I'll open it for you so you can see the insides, the contents. So this is where all the brushes would be inserted, and I've reused this to put some tea scoops, some picks, teaspoons, etc. to put those in. And then in the lower compartment here is all the teaware. So I've got a cloth that I use to put just on the table, just to have a nice surface to work on. I have my little travel tea caddy with matcha inside. It's got an extra lid inside so that the matcha doesn't go all over the place. And always like to keep it in a bit of a ribbon so that it stays in place. A little jar, a little tin with some basic sencha. Oh, be careful that I don't throw the sencha all over the place, because it's very tight. But here is, it's got our Nara Zaidai sencha in it. I like to drink that in the morning after having had a bowl of matcha. I have a towel, which is always helpful. And then I have my teapot kyusu wrapped up here in a bit of fabric. And this is the one that I like to use. It's compact, it's just enough for one person, and I might just use the cup or the glass that they have here in the hotel. It's always handy to use, but at least I have a proper teapot. And if I want to, I can also bring out my teacups. This is also one item that I have in here, and it's got 5 of these tiny teacups in one small tower. And of course there's also they are always packed in some cloth, and then they go into this nice container. This is specifically made for teacups. It's actually a sencha tool. It's very interesting, and I like it. I like using that. And if I do it more properly, I also have some proper metal trays in here. If you can see them. So these trays, they are for the cups. They're also in here. They're always in here in the back. And I had another tin of matcha in here, just to make sure I have enough, because otherwise, yeah, if we don't have enough, there's not enough. And I don't like running out, so I might just get a little bit more, so maybe I can then also share it with someone, or if I go to the event and have something to share with others. I've got my a little scale, not that I measure the tea that very often, but it might come in handy at times. And then there is the matcha ware. This is my container for the tea whisk. So it's got some fabric on top and the tea whisk inside, and in this case it fits perfectly on a wooden tea whisk stand like this, so it keeps in shape, and it also doesn't get squashed because it's not that very great a tool, so it's better to keep some shape and then put the tea whisk in like this carefully so that it doesn't get caught on the sides, and also that it doesn't get squished. So that's my tea whisk container, and 2 bowls. They also come in a special pouch for them. This is actually a pouch I think that I got for some other teaware. But this is a set of 2 tiny bowls. 2 bowls like these that I like to use. So, well, at least having 2 bowls will also create the opportunity to make some tea for someone else as well, or when you're out you can swap, etc. So these are the basic tools, the basic utensils that I have with me. I've got enough matcha, I've got some sencha for the morning. I also have another black tea still in my bag. And so basically in this set I have everything with me needed. I have my tea scoop here to make a bowl of matcha when I'm on location, to make a pot of sencha if I like. And it's just this one pouch that I have to carry, so I can even take it to the event, and if they have water there, I'm good to go, and we can all enjoy some matcha during our break. So let's hope we'll have some time for that as well. And this is how I carry around my my teaware, just for the sake of enjoying it. If it's tea ceremony or something, then it's completely different. But this is just for the sake of being able to enjoy some tea where you are and have a compact set with all the tools necessary. So this is my approach. Morning everyone. Today it's the first day that we are in Tokyo, that we are going to the event, and of course, as every morning I always go through my routine, and now I've gotten to the point where I have made myself a bowl of morning matcha. I always start my day when I wake up with some basic, well, toiletries, and then I continue with taking a cold shower. Unfortunately, the shower of the hotel was not that great. It was just a little drizzle of water. I like a very powerful shower. Unfortunately, there's just some drizzle cold water coming out of this shower, so I might consider taking filling a bath with cold water tomorrow morning and just dive into that instead of taking that shower. But then after just feeling completely refreshed and washed up, then I continue on with a interestingly not green powder but yellow powder. I always mix up a little bit of turmeric powder in some cold water just to get the system going to, well, clean up from the inside and get ready for my yoga meditation that I do in the morning. So I've already finished that as well. There was not much space, but there was just enough for me to fit in and to do my basic yoga exercises and my meditation. So I'm ready for the day, and now is the moment that I usually have some tea, and I begin with some matcha, and then I also like to do some sencha. So I'm going to enjoy my bowl of matcha and get started with the day. So these are the utensils that I brought in my my set. This is the one of the two tiny bowls that I got, and I of course used my tea caddy. Have a look at the tea caddy. It's just a simple plastic tea caddy, but it's green. It's got a nice color, and I like our little friend frog on the lid. So that's a nice feature. It's just a nice tiny tea caddy. You can take it with you quite easily. And then of course I've got my other tools, the tea scoop that I have in my pouch, etc. So it's a bit narrow, but it gets me going, and I can still keep up with my morning practices, my morning activities, and I go through this process every morning, so it's for me very important to keep it up. Now, what I also still do is I keep fasting until a little after noon, so I'll have lunch at 1 or 2, and then I still gotta see what to do for dinner, because usually I finish up by 5 or 6 and then don't have anything after anymore, so I might have to change the schedule a little bit and rearrange. But well, before we go off really, I also brought this, and this is a bit more of a not so compact box, but I just like to bring this because I like to use it. After matcha I also like to continue with some sencha, and I'll open the box here. This is a tea scoop for measuring tea leaf, and it's more common to use this in Chinese tea, but I like to also use it because having some of these utensils does shape the setting, the atmosphere, and it just makes it a bit nicer. And the tea scoop that I have here is made from some old bamboo with a interesting pattern on the back. I found it almost to resemble the skin of a tiger. Hence, I had it named Tora. Da-dum. Which is tiger in Chinese characters. It also comes with a pick, which is of the same type of material. Also has the interesting pattern on it. And so I brought this set. I had a little bit of extra space, and I like to enjoy my tea moments in just a fun and pleasant way, and have some pleasant things, utensils to use. And this is always nicer to measure the tea on and to look at it as well. So I brought it, and this is also a good opportunity for me to introduce the person who made this, because he's very skilled, makes very beautiful items, and mostly focuses on making these tea scoops with a pick, and they always come in a set with his calligraphy on the box. It's a beautiful box, and then he also is a very skilled calligraphy artist, and so he includes a piece of his calligraphy as well. So it's very worthwhile what he's doing, and it's very beautiful what he's doing. And so this is, I think, the second scoop that I obtained from him, and I've also got a few calligraphic writings for in the store. So his name is Sven, and he's active on Instagram under Mihai, M-I-H-A-I, Tea Scoops. And I would definitely recommend to go and have a look at his Instagram page, and to see what he's doing, and have a look at some of the pictures, because they're just truly beautiful. And he's got so many different types of tea scoops that he's making. I really want to support him in what he's doing, and I just appreciate what he's doing as well. So I definitely wanted to share that here with everyone, and I wanted to show that I'm also going to use this here on in my hotel room to enjoy a cup of sencha before we go off to the event. So look up Mihai Tea Scoops on Instagram, and the way he does his sales is very interesting, because he doesn't have a web store or a website, and just when he's got a new batch of tea scoops ready, then he makes an announcement on Instagram and creates a link to Google Drive, where he's got all the photos of the images and a PDF with the scoops, the specifications, and the pricing. And you just go in and look at what you like, and if there's something that you like, you send him a message, and that is how the sale happens. So it's all person to person, just through a Google Drive folder, and once there's a batch ready, there's an announcement, and otherwise you just have to wait until there's a batch ready. So it's a really, I would say, maybe in this day and age, primitive approach, but it's so much more personal. It's so much more, there's more engagement, and because these are unique one-off pieces, handmade everything, there is also not that much available. So maybe indeed there is not a reason to have a proper web store and bother with all that, but just say, I have these things on sale, now who wants them? So that's a great approach, and I really admire him for the work he's doing, and for the approach he's taking, and for the people that he's engaging with it, because these scoops, they're sold out in the first few minutes. So alright, enough about that. Go and have a look on Instagram, see who this guy is, Sven Mihai Tea Scoops on Instagram, and perhaps you might obtain a piece of his wonderfully made tea scoops yourself one day. Alright, I'm going to have my sencha, and then let's head off to the event. And so we're back in the hotel after a long day of standing on the floor in the Hankyu Men's department store for the first, well, my first participation day in the event. It's 3 more days. Today was day, I think the 4th already, but I'm here for the last 3 days. And so it was my first day on the floor, and 2 more days to go. It was a nice event. It was very calm, relaxed, not too many guests at once and not too few either, so it was a good balance. And I think I haven't explained yet what the event is about, but it is about a new approach to tea ceremony. And that new approach is created by the producer of the event, who is Suiensha. Suiensha is the name of a designer group or a designer person who likes to put together tea boxes. And like I have my my tea set here, this is what I like to put together for when I go outside and enjoy tea. And she does that in a more elegant way. Mine is a bit rough and I've got all the stuff that I need, but hers is more also in the way that you would create a tea ceremony. And for that you have different tools. You have the utensils, the bowl, the tea scoop, the tea caddy, the protection for the bowl, a cloth to put out on the floor when you are going to enjoy the tea, etc. So it is more the creation of an outdoor tea event. The idea that she has is to create a box, really, that can replace the tea chamber for those who have no access to a tea chamber. Mostly more conventional, well, contemporary persons really, who live in a small apartment but still want to enjoy tea ceremony, and so they could do it in a corner of their house or on a table if they just have this set, and they can play around with the set and create their own set or put different things in the set together from the utensils that they have at hand. So that is really her approach. And in this set there are different utensils, and the interesting thing is that we are at the event now with 8 persons, her included, Suiensha, and the other people like me have some sort of a role, a function to play in the putting together of such a tea box. So there is, and I'll read them out, there is Yamada Hideyuki, who is a craftsman for pouches to keep the tea bowl, to keep the tea flask in. I think I've explained in different videos of mine about the shifuku, or the brocade bags in which the tea flasks are kept. And so he's an artisan for those creations, but his creations are more with contemporary textiles and a bit more colorful, a bit more playful, a bit more something that a contemporary person would like, as opposed to the more antique well, types of textiles that are used for the more conventional bags that are used in tea ceremony. Then there is Ono Yutaka, who's a tea bowl maker. He's a potter, basically, and he makes very interesting tea bowls in the shape of what is called the eye of boar. When we look at the bowl, we would say, oh, it's a heart. Yes, they look as a heart, indeed. So his tea bowls are also very playful, very somewhat on the cute end, and something that a conventional, well, a contemporary person might enjoy more. It's more, well, it's more on the cute side, the playful side. Those things, I think, are a bit more catchy for people who don't have an affiliation with the tea ceremony yet. Then there is Kuno Teriyuki, who makes tea scoops from, well, compressed wood boards. And his main job really is he works as a carpenter for furniture, and so he applies that same approach. A carpenter, let's say, more of a designer really, because he likes to give it a special twist, and he does that to the tea scoops that there are on display as well. So that's again an approach to tea scoops. The thing really with this event is that everyone has somewhat a different approach to what we're doing, and we're taking the traditional also again a step further. There's of course the fabrics. So YGGD is an importer of Indian fabrics. She makes clothing with it, she makes coats with it. Those coats, they're type of Indian brocades, which go well with the well, you need fabrics to lay out, you need clothes to wear, and she's got a very interesting coat on display right now that is reversible, made with Indian brocades, and it also really goes very well with kimono. So that's her approach. And then there's a Remnant and Co. Who works with silk more, and also has a very interesting a little round room, a shell kind of thing that you can hang from the ceiling, and it could function as somewhat of a seclusion in which someone can make tea or do meditation, or you somewhat have your separate space. Not that it is completely shut off and airtight and soundproof and all that. No, it more looks like a big cotton sweet fabrication, but it's very interesting. And so she also works with clothing. She has fabrics that can be used for brocade bags or the protection items that are needed for the tea utensils, or to spread out on the floor. So these things are being used and being displayed as well. So there's and then there's Suyunsha, and then there's me, the tea crane. And for this time I've chosen to take a bit of a different approach to my tea collection, and I chose to take this opportunity to, for the very first time, really not only in Japan but in anywhere, introduce my naturalimmunitea collection, which is tea with TEA, of course, meant as a pun. And with this collection I want to approach more people and try to catch more interest for matcha and for the health benefits of matcha, and for the benefits that matcha has on taking care of your health and taking care of your well-being. So through matcha and through tea there's a lot we can learn, but there's also a lot that we can do to take care of our well-being by ourselves. And so this awareness comes through interaction with tea, with matcha, and this time I've selected 3 types of matcha that I've chosen. One that I have called Awakening, one that I have called Awareness, and one that I have called Energy Boost. And Awakening, I call this the matcha for the morning, which is your morning matcha ritual Awakening is the tea to go with to start your day fresh and energized. And then as you go through the day and you have different activities, then either when you say, I want to relax a bit, or it's time for some meditation or some yoga, then I would recommend awareness, which is a matcha that sort of lifts the spirits a little bit, heightens your senses, and is also very good for relaxation. And then there's another matcha that I call Energy Boost, which I would say is a good one for if you are a little bit tired but have to take another piece of work on, or get another job done and you want some power boost, or before you're going to do your workout, then I would say Energy Boost is the matcha to go, because it really powers you up. And I've selected these matchas really by drinking them myself, and by thinking this matcha feels like I would like to drink this on that occasion. This matcha feels more like I would want to have that one. Or I would just try all three of them different days in the morning and say, well, from these three, that is the one that I would want to drink more often in the morning. And so I've come to this selection, and with this selection also want to, well, attract people who usually don't drink and are a bit scared off by the rigidity and the hurdle that is so high with tea ceremony. And if you say matcha, it almost equals tea ceremony for them. So to take matcha out of that context, I say, well, look, these matchas are for some aspects of your daily life, and you can enjoy matcha, for example, in this occasion or in that occasion. Or if you are someone who has certain activities throughout the day, then matcha can be beneficial for you. And that is what I want to achieve with this new natural immunity selection. And I hope that this way at least I can reach more people, can get bigger interest for matcha, and really awaken more people to the possibilities of tea drinking, and from there on also help more people on their, say, spiritual awakening, taking their own health and well-being in their hands, becoming more conscious of who they are and what they are here for, and just help to make this world and the planet a better place by spreading the love for matcha. And that is what I feel already after this day first. That is going pretty well in Japan, and actually much better than expected. I think the Japanese definitely have a much more rigid understanding of matcha and a closer closer understanding or a closer feeling of matcha as it's related to the tea ceremony. And so I'm happy to see already that there is more interest, and there is definitely more interest when it is not related to the tea ceremony. So I find that very good to see. I'm very happy about that, and I hope that I soon will also be able to introduce these teas more internationally with you as well. They are available from the website, so go and have a look. Also go and have a look at my special Natural Immunity website. The links are in the description, and I'm going to be here for another 2 days, and I might also share some extra updates. I think I've shown you the gist of what I'm doing here, and well, I hope that at least in spirit you can enjoy the event as well and can support me with your presence in mind here in Tokyo. So thank you for watching, enjoy your tea, enjoy your matcha, keep whisking. Talk again soon. Goodbye.